What's up, guys? We are back with part 2 of the Gen Z Takeover. We got Anna and Devin. Ooh. That was horrible, but honestly also amazing. 2 of our young adult volunteer leads. Also, they have interned here. Anna's a resident. Devin works in tech.
You always get it wrong, but it's okay. I'm like the IT guy. Production is not production.
Whenever I look at Devin, I feel like I just see an image of like chords. And I'm like, tech, production, IT, it's all the same to me. I'm sorry. And then we got Jada. She's on the YA team, one of our pastors, and leads our volunteer team. Hey. And so we are here to continue the Gen Z Takeover. We're going to dive into... just talking about relationships, what God's teaching Anna and Devin, and then they actually prepared some questions for Jada and I that we don't know anything about, so I'm kind of scared. I know, I am scared. Get ready. Anyway, okay, let's dive on into it. Jada, do you want to do the next one?
Yeah, so we're just gonna talk about like friends and changing relationships in your 20s. I feel like you guys made big decisions, whether it's to move or change jobs. I think, how do you navigate just relationships and friendships? They look so different in your 20s. Yeah, I feel like 100%. People are like, they're wrestling with that. People break up, people get together, people move, people get married, people like go through hardships. And so like, how do you guys manage like fostering that community, friendships? Like, I think outside of work, inside of work, is there a difference? Is it all together? But what does that look like for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I guess take starting the internship, that's the last time I've had to be like in a new space, making new friends. The big thing that I had to do was drop my expectations. Whether it was that or like, I remember my first time trying to join a small group, I had expectations of what it was going to look like, who these people were going to act, like who they were going to be, right? And I walked in and I was like, man, they were weird. They weren't like what I thought they were, didn't speak how I thought they were, they didn't treat me how I thought they should. Yeah. And so I remember walking away from that small group that first week and saying, I'm never going back. I won't do it. Yeah. And part of it, honestly, they were amazing people. I talk with them now, but that first week I had expectations. And it can be hard making new friends, but when you have expectations of who they need to be to become your friend,
so good,
it's not going to happen. People aren't perfect, and they never will be, because you're not perfect either. Neither am I. I think the biggest thing that I've had to learn was drop my expectations. Jace Green, he was an intern in my class. Man, he was a character. And when I tell you, I did not like him for probably the first half of the internship. I meant it. Like, I would genuinely get mad if he was around me because he didn't act like how I thought he should. Yeah. Come to today, he's one of my favorite people that was in my intern class, because once I realized, like, man, I just expect something out of you that you're not. And I was able to, like, through work, drop that. Man, he's just like one of my best friends. He calls me almost every day. He's gonna be a groomsman in my wedding, I hope. I haven't asked him yet, so hopefully he's not
send this
listening to that.
As an ask.
Okay,
Wait,
Jace, be my groomsman. If you would, text me if you watch this, and I'll text you.
We've never had a groomsman proposal on this podcast.
That's funny. Okay, I'm glad to be the first.
That's actually so sweet.
It's cute.
But yeah, I just had this expectation, and he knows this, so it's fine if he hears this. But yeah, I had this expectation of him, had to drop it, and man, he's just one of my favorite people now.
That's so good.
So yeah, I think the biggest thing again was expectations for me.
I love that. I feel like being able to drop your expectations is such a hard thing to even just acknowledge out loud.
Yeah.
I remember saying, like, how do you lower your expectations? And people were like laughing. And I'm like, no, genuinely. Like, because I think what I think for me, or what I need, or how I am as a friend to someone, that they should equally be that thing. And that's not always true. Yeah. And so I think being able to like recognize that and being able to like lower your expectations, I think is so helpful in like how you grow and how you mature, and like recognize like maybe I need to be the friend to that person in a different way, or maybe I just need to accept them for who they are, and that's not a bad thing, but just recognize it like, oh, like, why do I want them to be someone or something that they're not, and like, but I want that for me too. I want someone to like put those expectations on me, and,
like let them be who God uniquely created them to be.
Right.
If God really intertwined each and every single one of us to be exactly who we are and exactly how we are, then why would we want them to be something else?
Right.
Yeah.
If it is God ordained or it is something that God designed.
And then shifting your mindset to like, why also now are they in my life?
Yeah.
For all their differences and for the way that they are and the way God made them. And the shift is like, this isn't my choice or my ideal, and it doesn't look like my friends from 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And also, God makes no mistakes, and I'm in close proximity to this person. And so, what could God be doing that's new? Which I think you said. It's just like trusting God with your relationships. That's cool.
Yeah, I think too, like our generation is so black and white with things where it's like one person wrongs you, bye, you're out of my life. Like I've seen that a lot. And then for a while I thought friendships were supposed to be so easy, but actually fruitful friendships can come from like resolving conflict.
Yeah, dude.
And I mean, my friendships from college were so easy, and it was very hard to leave those friends. And I think, like you were saying, Devin, not having like this strict expectation that we're gonna talk all the time, because the reality is we're in very different seasons right now. And I have a lot of friends who are getting married and having kids because, you know, Baylor ring by spring. And so just realizing like, hey, we are in very different seasons, and it's okay if we're not talking all the time, but like we're still friends.
Totally.
And being able to work through it, like through the conflict and the vulnerability that comes with that, like your friendships can actually be strengthened a lot.
100%.
So much growth that comes in that. I feel like even just like I moved across the country, and I've been here for a year and a half, and leaving like friendships that I built for the last 7 years was like so hard. Because then even stepping in, being here, and you have friends, like you start to like have friends and things like that, and then you have little moments of confrontation, and you're like, oh, like why does it feel like it's gonna end? But it's like, no, but there was like so much time like you built and invested in that relationship, that you know that person, you know, like the things that trigger them, or the differences you have. Like that's what makes us so unique, is those differences. And I mean, just diversity and different things like that you bring. And it's so hard leaving that, but I think it's like, it's so cool to see them grow. And so I feel like when you're like, I feel like I'm in a season now where I'm like, oh, like I'm restarting and like growing new friendships, and it truly good fruit like takes time.
Yeah.
And so like it just may not look the same way like it did 7 years ago, but I'm like grateful for those relationships. But I'm like, oh, I'm so excited for who God has in my life now, and who He's placing in my life now is a blessing. And I'm learning to even just like celebrate the different seasons of friends, because I think it's just like Christian college thing when it's like ring by spring. Like that was the whole thing at SEO. But it's like, I'm okay that I'm not in that season of like being married or getting married or having kids. Like I'm so happy for my friends, and I get to like celebrate that. And I think we don't often celebrate relationships, like celebrate big moments in our friends' lives, or even like the milestones of taking a leap of faith to even like move, or to try something new, or to leave your job, or to like you know. And so I feel like this part of my adulthood in my 20s, it just looks so different of like friendships, relationships, and just like what celebrating looks like, and what working at it. And it just truly takes time. And I think just being selfless too in it, like, and not feeling like so entitled of like, it has to look my way and only one type of way. Like I think I'm just like, I want a God honoring like friendship, and I want to be like so fun and so bliss, but I also want to be there for like just as much as the mountaintop moments, the valley moments too. Like I think it's, I don't know, friendships they have a lot of layers to them, but I'm like,
to build on building relationships, vulnerability has been a big thing for my relationships. Like some of the friends that I have, like maybe I won't talk with them for a couple months, but I can send them a text like, hey, this happened in my life, I need accountability. Or they'll text me, and even if it doesn't matter how long it's been since we've talked, doesn't matter, like right there I'll get a phone call. And part of that is we don't need the proximity to have a relationship, because we have vulnerability. We can just like, hey, I know He's there for me, whether He sends me a text every day or I see Him every couple months. Like I know I have a brother that I can go to and say like, hey, I need help, or I need accountability, or whatever that is. So like what you were saying earlier, it can be hard to ask for what I need or help. Building relationships where that is a foundation of that has been crucial for me, where I can have someone like that, where day one, the day I met this guy, we borderline trauma dumped, just to like get to know each other, because we had 20 minutes in a parking lot by ourselves before we had to go somewhere, and just told each other like everything. And from that day on, we just get to say like, hey, you know everything, bro. Like kind of creepy, but like now I know, like if I ever need anything, man, I can just go to you. It's like, hey, this is what's happening, or hey, I need this, or hey, I did this. He's right there. So vulnerability has been good because it just breeds that proximity, even if it's not physical. You have that like emotional proximity, because this person knows the depths and the I guess exteriors and the depths of you.
I think too, Jada, you touched on this. Like you had 7 years of these friendships. are 7-year-old friendships, and now you're here, moving here, creating new ones, and also you're changing and growing too.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking a lot about this idea of they always say like social media, we compare our lowlights to people's like highlights. I also think that works with nostalgia. I think that we compare our current reality in its lowest points with a rose-colored glasses view of our past.
Yeah.
And I think we do that relationally. I find myself, sometimes I'll look back to like my close friends and even in like high school, and I'm like, they were so easy. You had touched on like, it was easier.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, we had so much more fun. You know, I feel like things were lighter. I feel like it was easier to hang out. I feel like people were more intentional. And then when I really think about it though, I'm like, those were more shallow. I couldn't be vulnerable in high school. I couldn't have one-on-one conversations with my best friends. Like I was afraid to be alone with people. Like I look back and I'm like, Casey, like,
oh my goodness.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Or even college. I'm like, it was easy to be friends. And I'm like, but we also weren't actually good friends because we didn't really have to be. And so then when we became adults, my college friends, I'm like, we didn't show up for each other in big moments. Like I've missed moments of my college friends' lives that I would never miss of my current friends because I'm better.
Yeah.
Like I'm a better friend.
Yeah.
God has grown me. God has like increased me. And so I think like
so true.
as you were talking, Jade, I had this like epiphany where I'm like, sometimes I think we're searching to replicate something in the past that God has actually matured us from.
Yeah.
And that we shouldn't seek that same thing, but that God would reveal relationships that will continue our maturation instead of like keep
maturation.
us in. Is that a word?
I don't know, but I think it's gonna be my new favorite.
Maturation.
I like it.
Buzzword.
No, I think it might be because literally when I think about that, like you think about 7 years ago, I'm like, oh my gosh, the person that I was, I'm like, it was so different.
Yes.
And like what friend meant then to what I need a friend now is so different. I wouldn't. So I'm like that. I don't know how to say the word again, but maturation. I'm like, it's so needed. And like, even just like evolving. And I'm like, you just go through so many different things. And if I had that, I don't know, the perspective change is so different. And I think too, I remember like even just in college too, that was like my college last 7 years was like college, but it was like, so funny, the little petty things that would happen, and you'd be like, I see their location and they're all together and I'm not there right now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like right now I'm like, well, at my age now I'm like, okay, like it doesn't, I mean, I don't know, but it's just so funny, like the things that you were like so pressed and so stressed over. And I'm like, they will have a night out. I'm okay with my night in.
I'll have a night in.
Like, if I was supposed to be there, I would have been supposed to be there.
Yes.
And I'm at home and I'm content. Like it's so different in
oh my gosh, I swept everything under the rug in college. Like
it's no big deal.
I was like, I don't
100%.
have conflict with friends. I don't do drama. And I just don't have emotions.
Like,
and it's like,
no, really.
okay, like,
like that did not hurt me. And I'm like, yes, it did.
No.
I'm like sitting down for like 7 to 20 business days. I'm like, oh, it's still.
You turn around and cry, and then turn back. Oh, so it's okay. Sorry.
Great.
This year, you guys, I had a conflict with my older sister, and I had shared something. I swear, I think it was like the first time in my life I'd shared something that like she did that hurt my feelings, like in my whole life. Like it's really hard to say that for me. Like, and I'm pretty tough skinned, you know, and like I like banter. And the way she responded was not good, but I realized it's because like we don't do that with each other. And so she was like, I was like, hey, so when you said you were going to call me back in 10 minutes because you just had to feed a dog and then you didn't, I got really worried, first of all. And then second of all, you never did. And I'm like, and family, as you get older and being an adult and then you move to a different state, family becomes like, if everything goes to crap in my life, like you're all I got. Yeah. Like you have these moments where you're like, if I lose my job, if this happens, if that happens, like even if we're not perfect, like I'm on your couch. Yeah. And then I called her and then we finally got a hold of each other. I told her something hurt my feelings. And it was actually, I think, probably like one of the most vulnerable moments I've had with my sister. And it felt like a fail at first. I was like, oh, now we have conflict. I must be getting worse. Like I must be going backward. Yeah. Like, why can't I be like 2 years ago, Casey? Since when did I get so sensitive? And I felt like the Lord was like, in Ezekiel, the Lord says he's going to give us, remove our heart of stone and give us a heart of flesh. And I'm like, oh man, I'm actually maturing. And we fought and we hashed it out and I got to put language to it and be like, this hurt my feelings because of this. And I'm not putting that on you. I'm changing and I'm growing. And what I need is different. Yeah. And it was just like, you know, when you see you've matured and you're like, but it's like
light
really
shines down from heaven.
Yeah, but like to approach an old thing in a new way is really vulnerable as well. Yeah. And so that's giving yourself grace maybe, or at least trusting that God is giving you a heart of flesh.
Yeah.
And that it's okay to be tenderhearted and that isn't regression.
That's
Right? I don't
feel
know.
that. I feel like when I have those moments, I'm like, my therapy bill's going down.
Yes.
Laura's gonna see me less.
You see therapy working, you're just like, okay, this is not a waste of money.
Oh, it's so true. I'm like,
But
oh, she's
anyway, permission. Like
It's
if
so
you're in your
real.
20s and you're following Jesus and you feel you're changing and how you approach relationships and you're maturing, and maybe some people that you used to be friends with aren't maturing in the same way, aren't growing in the same way, or they're becoming somebody that maybe, I don't know, like I'm not saying drop people at all. Like I love a lot of my friends from college, but like, yeah. So it's also okay for there to be seasons of people, and it doesn't have to be this like you're canceled, cut out, and like bad blood.
Yeah, this
of,
like dehumanizing process.
You live in Florida, you know, have this, this, and this, and I love you, and also like my expectations are maybe having to change. So.
I think vocalizing that. I think in too with those friendships, vocalizing those expectations that may just have to look different on even just communication.
So good.
I don't think you need to have like a whole like closeout of we're no longer friends anymore.
No.
Or, you know, but I think like
A DTR.
But I think too, like I'm recognizing that the season you're in of like starting a life with someone or having kids, it's gonna look different for our friendship, and especially if you're having tension points. I think just like having that conversation around it and not, because I think it can turn into like bitterness.
Yeah.
Or like, why am I snappy or whatever? Or, but you have time to post, but you don't have time to call me, you know?
Totally.
And so I think just like having those conversations, or even for yourself, maybe like journaling out like, okay, like this person just has a different place in my life right now.
Yes.
And it's not that it's lower.
great.
It's like you have like different courts and different tiers of people, but it's like, it just looks different, and that's okay. And different isn't bad. It just, I have to change and navigate my expectations so I'm not let down, and then punishing that person by being passive or not really letting them know how I feel, or
so good,
like
Jada.
just recognizing like, oh, it has changed, and like that's not a bad thing. Like it's good that we've had change, and it's good that we're evolving and we're experiencing new things. Or, you know, I feel like, I don't know, as you get older, you go through different things. Your parents get sick, you go through life is life, and you lose job, all these different things. And so I think like your needs become different and they change. And so probably the other person to the other side of it, like their needs and things change too. And so it just can be one-sided.
I love that, like clear communication and reflection too. That's good. Okay, let's move on to this, and then we're gonna throw it over to you two for your questions, your takeover.
We're ready.
This is like a two-parter, and it could be longer. Whatever, we got time. Okay, is this a two-parter, Jada?
Keep going.
All right, here's my double question. I want to talk about one, like, what is God teaching you right now, like in your heart and in your life, like right now? Like, what is like the messy thing that you're in the midst of learning and discovering, right? Like maybe you don't even have a period to the end of the sentence of what it is. You're like, I don't know exactly, but I sense God in me is doing this or showing me this about himself. Because I think sometimes, I don't know, I'll be on here and I'll talk really retrospectively because I'll be like my 20s, but I think it's so valuable for you two to be on here and be like, this is here now. And then the second to that is, I think we keep talking about Gen Z and this spiritual revival that God is doing in your generation. What do you see amongst your peers? Like this, Jada called it like the spiritual pulse of like what God is doing. Like, do you sense that hunger? Is this just like in the news? Like, do you sense it? Do you feel it amongst your peers? Is it like hype? Is God actually do you sense God actually doing this? Or is it like, oh yeah, he is. And like, what does that look like from your perspective? So that's a 2-point question. So it's God doing in your heart right now, and then amongst your generation, what do you really see? Not what you hear people say.
I think for me, this has been like honestly a really difficult year for me, like in all areas of my life. But one of the things that keeps coming up that God is teaching me is, I mean, for as long as I can remember, I have been so scared of emotions. I'm like, I'm crying, don't look at me. Like, I'm gonna go, I'll be, like we were talking about, like, I'll be fine in front of you guys. I'm gonna go home and like get all of my emotions out.
In the shower. So you can't tell what the tears are.
Literally, yes. No one will ever know.
Not even me.
Yes, exactly. And I thought that was embarrassing to have emotions, and through a lot of counseling, I have learned, like, I always equated being sad and angry, like, that's bad. And then being happy and like peace and all of that. Like, that's good. And my therapist actually told me, like, all emotions are good. It just depends on how we steward them. Because all emotions are from the Lord. And like, yes, you can take anger and like let that fester, and that's obviously not a good thing. But just learning like all emotions are from the Lord. And I actually read through Psalms, just looking at David's perspective, and like one psalm he is praising the Lord, and it's like he is on those mountaintops, and then the other he's like angry and crying out to God. And so I've learned like it's okay to wrestle with God.
Yeah.
It's okay to be like, God, I am really angry right now and I'm really frustrated by this situation, but here I am, and like I'm surrendered.
He can handle it.
Yeah, like he can handle our emotions. Like sometimes other people can't, but God can handle our emotions, and he can help us steward that. And so I think that's the biggest thing that I'm learning. And there's definitely not a period on the end of that, because every day whenever I go into counseling and I'm crying, I'm like, I literally hate that I'm crying right now. And she's like, I know, I can tell you look so uncomfortable. So it's something that I'm learning every day.
Yeah.
And then for the second part of the question, I think I kind of get a front row view at that working in youth. I get to see the revival that everyone is talking about and that's on the news, and I get to see like all of those stats that people are referring to. And I guess that's more Gen Alpha than Gen Z, but I mean, they'll become the next young adults soon enough. But there really is, I don't know if it's like being out in Colorado versus being in the Bible Belt where I grew up my entire life. But people here are just so hungry. Like they really are. And people are looking for truth, whatever that is. Like a lot of people are turning to the church. A lot of people are turning towards other things. Like I think self-help almost can go towards like that outlet of like, I'm really hungry for answers. But I feel like there's so many people who are walking in even on weekends who are like, I am just like, I'm lost. And I think that working at the church and working in ministry, we get a front row view at that sometimes you do just hear it and you're like, that's a buzzword. Like, I don't know, is that actually happening? But people are so hungry and they're hungry for truth, and they won't settle for anything less than that. Is what I've seen.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah, I guess for me, it's also been like a difficult year. I guess towards more the beginning of this year, but I was going through this spout of really bad anxiety, like crippling. I couldn't like get out of bed in the morning sometimes, to the point where I got put on meds, which, you know, was not what I wanted to do. I was always against that, because in my mind, God should be enough. Like I don't need this supplement to like help God fix this. But I got on meds per my counselor's recommendation, and kind of been working through that, and like, praise the Lord, I'm off the meds and I feel more regulated. But something that through all of that that's been teaching me is reliance on God. That in first, it's okay to feel anxious, or it's okay to feel these things. Where do you run to when it happens? And so for me, it's like, okay, training my mind to be like, okay, I feel anxious. I'm going to avoid it and, you know, scroll on my phone like, you know, millennials do, like we said at the beginning. But instead, like, okay, let me actually like run to God. Or at least like run to those people that I can be vulnerable with that will lead me to God. There are times where like there was points where I felt like I couldn't do it myself. Where building those friends where I was vulnerable with them was one of the most amazing things that I'd ever done, because I actually had someone to go to that could help then like pull me along to God. And so that's kind of been the biggest thing, is learning to rely on God when it's difficult. Yes, because I think partially it's easier to run to God when it's difficult, because I have nothing else. Like, okay, God, like, here's your shot now, because I'm incapable. But in the easy things too, making it a habit where like day to day, going to pick up a coffee from a coffee shop, like, is God there with me? And like, okay, how am I treating this person then? How am I acting? I think I take the verse, like, be a city on a hill. I try and take that very seriously as something that I try and walk through in my life, of like, when I'm at a coffee shop, if I was talking to someone, would they think I'm, I guess, a Christian? Would they think I'm just a dirtbag, you know?
Yeah.
So like taking that verse very seriously, and a lot of that comes from reliance on God throughout the day, whether it's a big thing, a small thing, anxiety or joy, you know? So that is the big thing.
Yeah. And what about the Gen Z? The
Gen Z
Christian?
revival, yeah. I think it's been really cool to see. I think, you know, I've been in Red Rocks Church's youth group for however long now, and I volunteer there now as well. And I think it's been a cool thing to see, whether it's like the relationships I'm building with students there or even outside of that. When I go to the gym, I see like multiple students at a time carrying their Bibles in the gym with them, which to me at first I was like, that's crazy. But like seeing that's like almost becoming normal.
Wow.
I think part of it too, they're hungry, but they're also bold.
That's so good.
There is, I think partially because of social media where everything is out there, there's less boundaries for them, that they don't feel them as much. Whether that is, I mean, with authority or just with people in general, I think the boundaries are starting to wear thin. And so seeing that like they will just gladly be outspoken for God, I think is such a cool thing. Like I was also in the gym and I had someone walk up to me and just like, hey man, I just wanted to pray for you. Like, I mean, maybe they knew me, maybe they didn't, I don't know. But like, that was like a shocking thing for me. As someone who works in a church, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is a real thing. Now, obviously like, I don't have purview into the rest of the world, but I do have purview into like the city that I'm in. And I think it's such a beautiful thing to see, even within my city, that these youth students are very hungry. They're wanting to find, I think partially just hope. In a world that seems to get like ever more dark. And I think that they're finding that the true source of hope, the only thing that will actually bring them hope is God, is Jesus. And so I think it's a cool thing to first watch that pursuit of whether it was kind of Gen Z and a little bit of millennials and like the new age stuff and like just different spirituality stuff. And they're kind of all searching. But then I think as you start to like come down and like through the generations, you see like, okay, they're finding the one truth. Has been a cool thing for me too, to like realize that it's kind of been almost a process.
Yeah, that's so good.
Dang.
I love to, just a common theme or thread between both of what God is doing in your hearts is, I think sometimes people see people that like work at a church, or like do the internship, or they have found Jesus, and maybe in a lobby, like Devin's on the greeting team, Anna's doing your first look, you know, and they're pumped to be there. But also, God promises us that he's going to continue to sanctify us and heal us and redeem and restore until heaven. And so I love that you both shared that like it hasn't been easy this year, and that God is teaching you new things, and that healing, the process, being healed feels different than healing. Right. And so you guys are both healing in some ways, and God, that means that God, he who began a good work is faithful. And so it's a sign of his grace and mercy and his promises. And so if you're out there and you're like, man, I didn't think it'd be like this. Like, I thought it would, you know, I accepted Jesus and it's gotten harder, or it's gotten this, or it's gotten that. He's giving you a heart of flesh. He's healing you. He's making you a person of love. He's making you, he's filling you with his glory. He's making you look like Jesus. He's redeeming all things. And so thanks for sharing that. And just way to press in to that. I think one of my greatest fears is that, for myself, is that I would be a Christian that lives on really old bread. That I would be a Christian that lives on my testimony from when I was a teen. And then I say I'm following Jesus, and I'm actually following myself, so that I can avoid like the real work he wants to do in my life. And so I'm really inspired by you guys, like young people that are like, this is my faith, and God's doing a thing, and he's doing a new thing. So love you guys. Jada, this second segment, do you want to guide this next part?
Yeah, I'm just curious if there are questions. Do you guys have any questions? We had them bring some questions they want to ask. So yeah, who wants to go first and share? We have no idea what the questions are.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are now the hosts.
Okay, great. I guess with this being the Gen Z takeover, first question is about Gen Z. What is one good thing and one growth thing that if this microphone that's sitting in front of you talked to an entire generation, what would you say to them? Is the one good thing about the generation, about the generation, and one thing that they need to grow as a generation?
That's good.
I'll do good first.
I know Casey has some.
No, bad news first.
Bad news first?
Bad news first.
Yeah,
always.
on a high
I
note.
can't think of bad.
Casey's like Ready.
Wait, go. Do that.
She's ready.
Do that.
Okay.
That's a good one. That's a really good question.
No, I love you guys. I don't have a lot of bad. I think I'm like a natural coach. So like the interns have had this project where they've asked different people on staff, like, what was your first impression of me? What's like an encouragement and a challenge? And I think my challenge has been the same for almost all of them. And it's like, take initiative, like take more risks. Because I do think you said Gen Z is bold. And I think they are bold in certain contexts. So like behind their phone, like social media, way bolder than I ever am now even. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, I have people like preaching the gospel on their phone, losing thousands of followers, you know, and I don't care about that as much. But and so I think being bold interpersonally, being bold in your workplace, not just with your faith, but like asking for advice, like getting mentors. Like I think I hear a lot of Gen Z saying like, oh, I should probably get a mentor, or I should probably join a small group, or I should, is this bad? Oh yeah. And commit when it feels mid. That's it actually. Most of life is that mid feeling. You need to fall in love with it. Fall in love with the feeling of mid and process. You need to fall in love with process. It's most of life. I hear a lot of Gen Z being frustrated that they're not getting the fruit of what committing to process gives you. And I'm like, you're not going to get that unless you want the community that comes with being a part of a small group. You go once every 3 months.
That's why like I had to drop my expectations because I was like, I would have just been out week 1.
Yeah. And also most of the things you really want are going to involve committing to things for the long term. Like the best thing I did was join a small group. I didn't feel like it. I didn't want to. And guess what? Signing up was easy. And guess what? Going when there was like rib night in December when we did a Christmas gift exchange was easy. But like saying yes and letting your yes be yes and really making it a priority. Well, I'm busy. I'm like, you make time for things that matter. And being consistent. I think my fear with Gen Z is that there's all this potential and we're like, there's revival, there's potential, and not this willingness to really be discipled in the way of Jesus. Discipled. Like you are following his teachings. Like you are. Good. And so embrace mid, fall in love with process, and let yourself be surprised when process unfolds into like fruit for real. And I do think that is because we want instantaneous results. I also think I am in this. Like I'm millennial, but I'm young millennial. And so I'm saying this from somebody who is finding my attention span also be a goldfish and also be like, why is it taking so long? And I just think there's so much potential. And when potential doesn't partner with faithfulness and hard work, I just feel like we have a bunch of people that say, oh, I could have done this and I could have done that. And that's what we celebrate when God wants like real, he did that. So anyway, that was long-winded.
And then good.
Oh, me? I'm doing both mine right now?
She's like, oh, shit.
Wait, I can think of my...
No, I'll think
of my bad.
Okay. Good.
Nothing wrong
Here's
with
what
Gen
I love
Z.
about Gen Z. No, I love Gen Z is unapologetically authentic. For better or for worse. Like sometimes I'm getting some insults and I'm like, maybe you should have thought before you said that one to me, you know? But I think there's an unapologetic authenticity. Gen Z really doesn't want smoke and mirrors. Gen Z, and this is actually sharpened the crap out of me as a person, like for real. Like if I find myself saying like a safe, easy answer or in my small group, like trying to like band-aid someone's pain or someone's question, I'll be like held accountable so quickly by somebody who's like, well, why did we rush past that? Well, I actually want to know. And what about this? I don't know about that answer. And I'm like, oh, so there's this hunger you were talking about, Anna, that like really hungry to like taste and see Jesus. And I think sometimes as a leader, I'm like, oh gosh, like that's uncomfortable. Like, why can't you just like believe it? You know? And then I'm like, I didn't want that, you know, in a leader. And I really think there's a hunger and a curiosity and like I'm not going anywhere, God, until we like have a moment or until this or until that. And I think there's this like resilience in the faith that I see in Gen Z of like, because I really do think
that's why there's revival, is like Gen Z wants the real thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they're not going to pretend like they've had the real thing. And I really respect it. And it has sharpened me, and it's really grown me too. Like even leading Gen Z, like I'm also being grown by this generation and held accountable in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So I think that's my good.
Okay, bad. This is like really hard.
I know, maybe not bad, just like
Grow,
could
like
grow.
a grow point. You know?
Could just notice, like a little blind spot.
Yeah.
Ooh. This is really tough. I just feel like I think effort and hard work, like work ethic, I would say is our like our downfall. And like follow through. And I'm a big like proponent of like let your yes like be your yes. Let your no be your no, let your yes be your yes, so you can give a confident like yes.
Yeah.
Or confident no. Like don't be flaky. And I just feel like we have just a lack of like follow through. And like but we want to see the thing, we want to be a part of the thing, but we like kind of don't want to put the work in, but we want the like the byproduct of what that gets.
Yeah.
And I would say even I would challenge too with the authenticity. I don't feel like we're crazy authentic.
Really?
Ooh, hot take.
I think I see a lot of duplication. I think it's a lot of comparison because we spend a lot of our time like kind of like looking and gazing, and we want to, I don't know, I feel like it's not like we're not crazy authentic rebirthing anything new, but I think that's in different contexts. But
I guess mine, I was thinking
Yeah.
more like faith. Like I don't
know the answer to this, or I'm confused about this.
yeah,
Maybe that's where I've experienced it. But
yeah. I feel like they're authentically themselves and showing up in that place of like, I don't know the thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I would say like the positive being like, they're just so desperate that they just won't let up. Like, I think I love that they're like, I'm willing to like push the envelope. I'm willing to like find the answer. I'm willing to like, I don't know, I just feel like desperation. I feel like that's really cool to see. Than like just to give up in their like faith. Like, I think that's so like encouraging, and it keeps me on my toes too. And it keeps me hungry and desperate for God to show up in new ways. Like they won't settle for the same thing. Or I just think they're just like what you said with even just like the flashy, the smoke, all that. I think they're just like, I want real, authentic truth, and I will not let up like until I get and experience that in God for myself.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
In
think
my own
there's
life, in my own
something so cool about the connection, because what you guys are saying is like there's a resilience when they're like, seeking after God or something that they want, but then when it's like a hard thing or something they don't want to do, it's the work ethic's a problem. And so I think it's something that's just a weird connection that you can see in a whole generation, that when they really want something, they will not stop until they get the answer.
Yeah.
But when it gets a little difficult and I don't really want to do it, then there's that resilience problem. So it's just interesting to me.
Yeah. I feel like it's like you see a little bit of both.
Yeah.
And so it's really cool, but I feel like it keeps me on my toes, and it does keep me like, oh my gosh, like I have to be on my toes. I have to be filled up because they won't stop. But it's been really cool though, like leading your peers and like people. It's like weird, but it's like really cool because I'm like, all right, like I'm desperate too. All right, God, like just be you, like. And so they'll challenge you, but it's like I think the heart of it is they really want to see miracles. They really want to see things change for their like the next generations. They really want to see their family healed, and they really do want to see restoration. They really do want to see less crime and people suffering.
Yes. Yeah.
They like I feel like that part of them wanting good, to see good in the world, like, and
It's so true.
less evil, like
Yeah.
it's like a like thing you see across. So I think that's even in Alpha, like
I
that, like,
totally agree with you.
you know,
Yes.
like even just like caring for people. I think there are new people like caring for the widows again and caring for the poor. Like I don't know, like you're gonna.
No, it's
I
so
don't know.
true.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Like I feel like
Yeah.
I see that, and there's hope and like such a. I think that narrative of like, oh, young people are this and that, like it's gone.
Yeah.
Like, it's like very few. Like there's a
Yeah.
small demographic of people that just like don't care. I think.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I feel like that's really cool and beautiful to see, and inspiring, like
Mm-hmm.
to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Nice
Good question.
Yeah. That's
Thank
a good
you.
question.
Well, mine goes along with what you guys were saying. I feel like our generation, whenever things do get difficult or they're not super happy, they're like, okay, bye, which I feel like is a common theme we've been talking about. So what would you say to young adults who are super picky about their churches? I've noticed this in school, like at Baylor, there were an abundance of amazing churches in Waco, and it was like, okay, I went to one. they kind of rubbed me the wrong way when I went, and I was like, okay, I'm never going back there. So what would you say to young adults who maybe go to one church for a young adult service, but a different church for the weekend, and then they're in a group at another church? Like, is it beneficial to be planted in one spot? Can it be good to have that many outlets of community? I would love to get y'all's opinion on that.
So many thoughts on that.
I would say commit somewhere. There's no perfect church because it's made up of people. Like, we are the church. And so I think even for myself, I can pick apart anything. But I think like there's something when you're planted and you're rooted, and even if it's not perfect, if it's unhealthy, that's one thing. And there's false teaching and heresy and all these different things. But I think like be planted in the house of God, and like I think maybe check your spirit.
Yeah.
I really do think that, because are you having a critical spirit, or is your spirit just disrupted? You know, maybe the thing that you need or you're not seeing, maybe you are part of the solution to that thing.
Yeah.
But also go about that wisely. Don't bring it to the one person that's understaffed a gazillion times. Like, maybe you just need to do the thing and ask for apologies or about the process later. And so I think just like being planted, something so cool about being planted, because then you can actually start to see fruit. Be willing to like invest in the local church, be willing to also like put in, like invest in the church. I think we go and we're such a consumeristic people that it has to look like this, feel this way. But I think something about just going and receiving, and maybe you do need to like test out a few places and see where there's a great fit. And maybe you're currently going somewhere, maybe you're an attention point of that. Like, listen to your gut, listen to the Holy Spirit. When you're not feeling peace, like listen to that, like dive a little bit deeper. And like I would say again, like seek counsel on that, because of the things that you're probably like maybe you're being critical of, or maybe you're just like not feeling it's a good fit. Like maybe it is one of those things that you just need to help have like actual like guidance and like navigating to be able to make a decision to be planted somewhere. But I think when you're like all over the place, I think like, I don't know, I feel like you can't really be a part and be connected when you're so I'm here, I'm there, and not consistent. I think there's something that's like beautiful about consistency, being faithful and being planted. And and that doesn't have to be here, but I think there's something so like there's something biblical about it.
Yeah. I agree with you a ton. I struggled a lot with this in my 20s. I'm like an avoidant attachment style. So I love leaving things when there's something in me that I don't always act upon, but it's like a thought that crosses of like, oh, well, like I have one bad experience or one bad interaction, and I'm like, ooh, bye, I'm out. That's now a representation of the whole house. And there's almost like a fragility of like, I'm almost like looking for something to be wrong because I really don't want to commit, and I really am afraid I'm going to get hurt. And if I can just not really commit, but almost commit, so like commit enough to get my needs met, but not commit so much so that I won't get caught up in somebody else's storm or contribute to a storm and actually see my ego and my heart and my shortcomings. And so it's like, I think of like a relationship of like, can you imagine committing to someone enough to get your needs met, but not as far, like not far enough to really be known or to know. And what it really is like, it's abuse. Like using something to get your needs met insofar as you can control it is an abusive relationship. And so I think I loved using churches and houses to get my needs met. And then once they didn't meet my needs or tell me exactly what I wanted to hear, and I'm not telling people they're abusing the church, but I just think when you misuse something for what it's used to do, it is abuse. That's what I did all the time. I was in a different small group, and then I was serving in a different youth group, and God used all of it for sure. I felt in my spirit that I knew I was running from really knowing and being known. And I was ultimately protecting myself from being hurt by God's house, from being hurt by God's people, from all the things that I think we're all trying to protect ourselves from. And so I guess I want to say two things. Talk about this tension with people. Like, I think I always was like guilty and knew that I probably wasn't committing, but I didn't know how to put language to it because I thought I'd be judged. And people would just like, well, you need to commit. And I find places, safe places to talk about like those tensions you're experiencing. Because I do think I have non-negotiables. Like, I want there to be a female teacher. Like, I have non-negotiables. Like, there's like a few things I look at. I try to look at like to a degree of diversity in my house. Is the church actually giving back to the city? Are we generous to just ourselves and each other, or are we actually fulfilling the mandate that God has given us to live out the Great Commission, or are we a country club? Like, just decide your ecclesiology, which is like your theology behind church, and get that information from your Bible. And so I would urge you to do your own study and your own work, and then so that way you're not coming into all these contexts trying to create a God, or you're God, right? Like, I'm God and I'm deciding if this church is good for me. One, two, like, let God's word guide that. Three, any tensions you feel as you're church hopping, and you do probably feel like you need to commit, because at some point, like Jada said, you do need to commit. Talk through those with the wise counsel of like, ooh, like I went to a church, you guys, in college, that the worship was the pastor also played the piano.
Nice.
And the singer was like a shrill voice that I could not get up to. There's nothing worse than a really high pitched voice. Like, great is thy faithful. And I'm like, great. I like can't get up there. Like, I can't even sing along. And the worship was what it was. But the small groups were all led by people who had really strong biblical education. I was in a season where I was really doubting a lot of, like, was the Bible inerrant or not? Like, I really needed somebody who knew their word to like be guiding me in that season. And so I felt like God was like, you need to commit here. Was the worship. I've never had seen smoke, and the lights were fully on, you guys. No smoke, like no guitar, no drum. Like, I was like, where's the beat?
Give me a beat.
We practiced communion every week. At the time, I didn't understand that liturgical practice. So that felt like culty to me. But then the small group, like, I just couldn't get over God being like that's the strength of this house, and this is what I need for you to be. So all that, and that church formed me. And now I pastor here.
Wow.
And so the reality is, you might be called later in your 20s or early 30s to be serving in a different house that is now maybe currently being your main discipleship formation. Churches that have formed me are full of people in Santa Barbara that would probably not attend to Red Rocks or feel called here. Yet they're so connected to the people here because they pastored me, and now I pastor here. So there's just like a lot there. Sorry, that was a long answer. I'm really passionate about this. We all are. We work at a church, so obviously we are. But don't jump around, get your needs met, and not try to get to really know anybody or be fully known. And have grace. If you are a receiver of grace and you cannot give that grace, you need to really ask yourself if you've actually received said grace. Truly. Or you're thinking really highly of yourself. Because it should shock you. Like, reception of grace should make you fall on your face if you understand what sin is. And so you should approach God's house that way across the board and stop comparing churches in the city before his house. Obviously, if there's unhealth, we call it out, but I feel like I could rip on into this
I feel like I could stay on longer, because I'm like, then people like, I don't know, it's just
sorry. I don't mind going into it though, because I'm like, I just think people really read your Bible and study. Like, if you don't want to hear it from us and you're tired of hearing the thing, and you're somebody who's like, I need to come to my own. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, study your Bible and study what God says about church.
Yeah. I mean, my fiance would be furious if I had 3 other fiancés, so.
Yes.
I mean, that's just like, we're kind of trying to do the same thing with the church, though, is like, how can I get multiple of things feeding me? And like you said, not enough where I feel like seen or overseen or being part of someone else's mess, or, so
and I not wanting to serve somewhere, or not putting any skin in the game. You know, you're kind of like attending the game, and you're like, that was nice. Is there any popcorn?
Like, I want to be sold out for God, but I'm not going to sell it for like the church that I go to, which is like God's house. So a lot of thoughts. Sorry, we're really intense about it, but I am, because I just wish younger Casey, she just was so ego. She was just like, I rock, the church sucks. Maybe that's like another podcast episode.
Casey's ego. The interiority of the ego.
But it's so real. I do remember being like a college town and there being like so many churches to choose from. And you're like, and then you just go where your friends go. And then it's like, oh, but God's doing something. I'm like, go with where your friends are going. But if God starts to do something, like, listen to that. I think it's a bad thing to go where your friends are going, because like it does does kind of suck when you prepare yourself alone sometimes, but then it's like, but if God is doing something in you, you feel like you're something, your spirit's happening, changing, like listen to that and like get into his word and like hear the voice of the Holy Spirit as he guide you as you make a decision to be committed to a church. But I'm like, it's so important because I'm like, I don't know, everyone's on a different journey. Like, you know,
Yeah,
but
no,
I think it's
I'm
like,
not trying to be like.
no, I was so, no, I'm with you. But I was like, I remember that being in that place of like,
Yeah.
I was like hopping around each semester, going to different church.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh,
And
yeah.
like,
Well, it's
it
like
was a mess. Then it came time to get my like W-2 back for taxes, or when they give you that thing, your giving
W-2.
statement, not your W-2. I was like, whew.
Like, where am I going?
yeah.
I was getting like 4 of them, you know. So it was just like, I was like,
And it's so funny, God, and also God in his grace and mercy has, when I was going to 5 churches at once, God used all of them.
He did.
Yeah.
And
And the
also
people.
one of them like legit hated women in leadership, but that the teaching was so good.
My
And God used it.
yeah,
Even though I didn't align. And at the
Yeah.
time that like really made me,
yeah.
I was just, when you're younger and someone has one different belief, you're like, I can't hear anything you
Yeah.
have to say. And it's like
Yeah.
nowadays I'm like, oh no, there's plenty of pastors I love their teaching and we
It's
don't
so
see
real.
eye to eye on
It's so
certain
real.
things. But
It's so
back then I was just so mad. But then I was like, that was a really good teaching though.
But then it feels hard when you like break into a group, a small group. You're like,
Yeah.
ooh, and like we're gonna serve, and everything feels so foreign, you know.
I
So it's like it just
know.
starts
Yeah.
somewhere,
Mhm.
and so
Yes,
Just
start
start
somewhere.
somewhere.
That's
Mhm.
good, Jay.
start somewhere.
start somewhere.
Given 5
Trademark
different
that.
churches.
Okay, are we feeling good? I feel like we could probably close. Do you guys?
Yeah.
Are you guys good?
Yeah,
Good.
Did you have
whatever
fun?
y'all
Yeah.
want. It's
Yeah.
great.
We're gonna end with another. What's an
Fun.
icebreaker? What's the opposite of an icebreaker? A close breaker.
Icebreaker, hot breaker,
What's like a closing?
melting.
Closing
A sealer.
time.
A heat sealer.
And the band can come up. We
Yeah.
Band can come on up,
The
yeah.
band can come up.
keys. Where you at, keys? If I break the 4th wall one more time,
The band can come up. Is so
that's
funny,
my favorite.
guys.
The band can come up.
We're gonna talk about. Speaking of the band coming up, we're gonna talk about our betrayal lists. That's how
Dun,
we're gonna
dun,
close
dun.
of 2025.
Oh my god.
Because it's the new year right now, but we just want to reflect a little more. And I just want to talk about this because I saw it as a trend, and I'm not usually knowing the trends.
I know. I'm actually shocked by this one.
Millennial.
I know. I don't
I
have
had
TikTok.
to. I had
have a
to.
girl in YA. She sent me a TikTok
was like,
and
did
was
you
like,
find it on a
"Ryan
reel?"
needs to do this," and I was like, "I can't see the video. I don't have TikTok."
Of course,
and she was
you're
like,
a reels
"Oh,
girl.
Yeah, you're such a real.
You're chill.
I
Yeah, I
like
don't have
the
TikTok
happy reel.
either, so
Yeah. Anyway,
Wow.
Yeah.
here's
It's good
my-
for you.
Let's talk about our betrayal lists. We're gonna go through betrayal lists are just things that have betrayed you in the last year. So speaking of band call, Jada is making one of the top of my betrayal list
Wait, me?
because I was at the end of my sermon
Oh my
and I
gosh.
still had to read something on my notes. It was like a scripture. It was a scripture. I was
What do you
ending
call
with
it?
reading a scripture. Jada,
You're commissioning? Wait, or
yeah, I was commissioning,
You're commissioning.
and I needed to read something, which I don't often like read out of my notes at the end. There's usually a prayer. I like am starting to read it. Jada out of the blue is behind me. People's eyes are closed. Stealing the podium from me.
Let me interject. Let me interject. I was walking out. And it's like when you walk out there, there's no turning back. When you see yourself on the
The
side
eyes
screen
is true.
and you don't know people's eyes, you have to commit. I was out there fighting for my life.
We made eye contact. I'm in the middle of saying a commissioning.
side-eye.
Like, who's commissioned to the house of God? So intense. We like side eye each other. I'm like, grab the paper.
She snatches it off the podium.
That
And
is-
I'm like, what do you want me to do? Just sit here while you commission the people with their eyes closed?
Just go up there.
So that's the top of my betrayal list. Jada.
Number
And then,
one.
you know what?
Wow.
I'm going to do a 1-2 punch.
Come on, keep
Anna
going.
recently. This
Okay.
is both people that I've trusted
I know where
on
this
this
is
young
going.
adult stage. We have a Friendsgiving, and if you're listening to this and you know exactly what I'm talking about and you still want justice and you're still mad at Anna,
read off
rightfully
Anna's number.
so. It's righteous anger
720.
because someone cheated you.
Wrong.
We were doing a bingo event at our Friendsgiving, and I was like, Anna, I want to host. She's like, yeah. Anna is someone who usually really executes exactly how you want something to be
Integrity,
executed.
morale.
Yes.
Hi.
Yes. Hi.
I'm actually with Casey on this one.
Bingo is happening and there's like 500 people playing and the prize is really good.
It was the best prize. It was
Yeah,
the
it
best
was.
I will say.
And the bingo
Yes.
was
I
the
put together.
Jada put it together.
Thank you,
It was the
Jada.
borders of the bingo card. They call out and the borders have what? 20?
It's like
No.
4. No, it's like
16
yeah.
numbers. They call out maybe they're like 8 in. A girl says bingo, which it's not bingo, obviously, because they haven't even read enough numbers. She comes up and I'm thinking Anna's going to say, oh, you must have been thinking we're doing regular bingo. We're doing border bingo. No, Anna doesn't correct her at all.
Anna looks at her playing bingo. And by the way, 50 people have had one of those at this point because we're playing the border version.
No one was as confident as her, though.
And Anna just gives her the prize. Like completely grants her the prize for a basic regular bingo. I'm being shouted at by people. Throngs of people.
Okay. I feel like I need to clear my name really quick. I was on a time crunch. Casey had given me a very specific timeline of when we needed to be finished, and we were far past that.
Because I'm notoriously timely.
Well, I am. So I was trying to respect that.
Okay.
I was trying to respect that. So she calls bingo. She comes up there. I do the whole intro. She introduces herself. It was one of her first times there, I think, at YA.
Oh, you were protecting her.
So she had said her name to the entire group on the microphone.
Oh, you didn't look at
all
the
of that,
bingo.
and then I look at the bingo. I realize she doesn't have any in the B
she should have been embarrassed
column.
and
We
sat
have
back
not.
down.
We have not called a single B yet, which I did not realize till after.
Sorry.
I look at her and I'm like, I cannot embarrass her in front of everyone.
You should have.
Like, that takes a lot of courage to walk all the way up to the front, say
To
your
win
name.
a prize?
To say your name in front of everyone is your
To
first
say your
time
name.
there.
I feel like she's got to know what she's doing, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways,
You want to go to heart.
You should
I
give
wasn't
her
going to
a
embarrass her in
hug.
front of everyone. If it were me, I would be really embarrassed.
All I'll say is Anna wasn't on my betrayal list, but I'm actually going to add her to it because I had
Okay.
like 15 people come up to
People
me
were
after
actually
that.
upset with
They
us.
were
Yeah, people
furious.
were yelling at me, and
Hey.
I was like, you know what? I would rather them yell at me than her.
Jesus left the 99 for the one.
Exactly, Casey. Exactly.
Jesus
Is what
wouldn't-
someone stupid
Jesus-
would say to you.
Jesus wouldn't
So,
lie.
anyways, my betrayal list. Everyone here is wearing all black except for me, and no one told me.
I am not gonna
No one
say
gave
a
me the
rebuttal.
uniform.
Not everyone
for
has
today.
these beautiful blue eyes where a blue sweater
Yeah.
is just going to pop them into the sky.
Well, I can wear black whenever I want.
I have fur all over this.
I've worn all black the past like 4 days, so this is just me.
Yeah, sorry, everyone. I was a fashion major.
Okay,
What's up with the clip? Oh, just
more on the betrayal list. Anyone else have one?
Yeah,
Ooh.
I have Nike is on my betrayal list.
Oh,
Yeah, they I bought a pair of shoes, $160.
Okay.
It was not cheap. No,
still using your old salary on those?
I guess yeah, and so I'm playing pickleball as I do, and the sole rips off. I've had them for like a month and a half.
Wait, what?
The sole just rips.
Did you take them in?
No,
They have
No.
really good customer
Wait,
service.
yeah, Devin.
Do
they do.
Yes,
They do.
they'll give you a brand new pair.
if this is a year later.
Oh,
maybe.
Well, no, because
Maybe.
now
I
it's
thought
a
you
year
just
later.
bought them.
Oh,
No, I
okay,
did.
that's
I
on
did when
you.
it happened at like 20, and it was probably
Okay, 2026 redemption list.
Redemption.
Nike's gonna be on
Nike
there.
thing's gonna be on it.
Redemption list.
Okay,
Anna.
we'll see. But yeah, Nike,
That's tough.
and then tied along with that,
Oh.
my pickleball paddle. This is more me. I'm very competitive, and so when I lose, I might smack my paddle on the ground. And so there was a specific moment where Casey and I were in a tournament together
We
against the rest
were.
of the staff.
Third place.
Third place. We lost, obviously. Not happy. Third place is not, podium's not good. I'll
It's
be
not
real.
good.
That's not good enough. I got a jar of pickles. I hate pickles. I hit my pickleball paddle on the ground as I walk out of the complex. It just shatters. And I was like, you should be able to withstand my anger. So
Oh.
it's just going to be on my betrayal list because
Okay.
I didn't like that.
That's
all
I didn't
right.
like that.
All right,
You guys
fair.
get a little dark. I'm
Put on
gonna
the
be a little
registry.
light.
Okay, what's yours?
I would say all of the Black Friday deals
Yes.
and Cyber Monday
Bad.
awful.
Oh, awful.
Betrayal list.
Yeah.
I feel like
30% off.
here's my thought. Here's my thought as a marketing business person. I'm gonna go back. I just feel like we need to choose either Black Friday or Cyber Monday and not give me a deal on Thursday through Monday. Don't
It's stressful.
like Monday through why are you giving me a week of deals and it's 30%? 30% is not Black
No.
Friday.
Uh-uh.
I need
That's a Labor Day
50
sale.
to 75 for it
Amen.
to be an actual good deal. Like you guys
Yes.
actually lost money from me because I would have spent it what I
Yeah.
didn't have. But I would say none of the deals gave, and the fact that you start your deals on before Thanksgiving, I feel like is a crime. And I feel like it should all start bring back. It's starting that night of Thanksgiving. I wouldn't even care. Like I would go back out after Thanksgiving dinner.
You can have deals.
You can
Just
have deals.
Make it Black Friday
Make
its
it
own
Black
thing.
Friday and be like, oh, we didn't hit our
oh my
margins.
gosh.
We're gonna increase this junk on Monday.
Yeah.
We're bringing it up to 75% off because we didn't meet our target.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Q4 at this point.
Yeah.
So we should maybe is it Q4?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, because
Q4.
then Q1. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the NBA is clocking right now. So I think that's what they should have did. They lost money for me. I would say the most thing that gave though is the flights though for Travel Tuesday. I did buy a flight last night.
Was that
no one
good?
told me.
Yes, it was good.
I missed
My
it.
flight home, it was it did what it did.
Vulnerable. I cried a couple days ago because I wanted to go on a vacation so badly.
Oh,
So
hey, good
I
for you. Have your
missed
honeymoon.
the flight
yeah.
in May. Yeah, no, it'll be
Yeah.
fine. But
Yeah.
it was a low moment. Okay, I'll be
No,
real.
I've been there.
Yeah,
I feel like
I
I
want
had
to be
a
on the beach.
vacation.
It's-
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
the beach will make
The
me
snow
cry.
is not
Being at
helping.
the beach and being away from the beach makes me cry.
You just
Yes.
did that.
I know, it's just at the beach, guys. My betrayal list is Colorado winter as usual, but
Mine's on there. The snow.
Yeah, the
Yep.
snow. I have one that's very specific. Well, I'm just going to list a few quickly because I just want to get them out.
Okay.
1, DIA is always on my betrayal list. 2, my Spotify Wrapped. Mosaic Worship was my number 1. And I'm really sorry, Red Rocks Worship.
Oh,
3,
betrayal.
my blue boots. I have these really huge blue Uggs and I wore them every day last winter and I just put them on for the first time and they smell really bad. It's probably, I don't know if that's the Ugg or me.
It's the
Taylor
sheep.
Sharkey is on my betrayal list because she keeps posting ugly pictures of me on her social media. Facials in general on my betrayal list because I got my first facial with Jada and my skin's never been worse. And then my last one is my last one is JoJo's dog. I house sat for Jonah and JoJo. JoJo's a youth pastor at Arvada. Jonah is one of our group's pastors, good friends, as their wedding gift. I got food poisoning.
And locked out.
Oh, no, I got
No.
locked out and food poisoning. Their dog's supposed to be an emotional support golden retriever, all over you, happy as can be, wants to be near you all the time. Oh, not when you're in your darkest hour, puking in the toilet, your low as can be, fetal position, chills. Where's Booker? Nowhere to be found. Betrayal.
scared of you.
Do your one job.
Yeah, he's
Comfort a human.
Wow.
He's
when it
probably
needs
scared.
you.
He's probably scared.
Whatever. Those are mine.
That's a hot take. I don't believe in emotional support.
Yeah, careful slandering golden retrievers.
All right, you guys go. You guys needed to get mine out.
I got my last one is Chick-fil-A.
Oh, as a former employee.
You really
Yes,
don't like
yeah.
just
He
these
was an employee.
organizations.
Yeah. hello,
Chick-fil-A
a manager.
is on my well, it's this year specifically.
Why?
Okay. It's not your pleasure.
I've been, my fiance loved this seasonal drink. It's called the Cherry Berry. So I went a lot just to get this drink.
Okay.
High
And in the
points.
midst of getting way too many, I don't even want to look at my budget spending.
Are you the
Yeah.
highest
Um,
member?
Am I the high? I was the highest tier.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Okay, let's go, Jada. But they messed up my order more times than they got it right.
oh.
How do you mess it
I
up?
feel
though?
kind of bad. We
They only have like 3
they like
things.
sponsor the pod.
No, I know. It's I mean, we just ate it, but like last night, I got Chick-fil-A for dinner last night. I had to go back in twice. Well, it was my fault.
What
I had to go back
Chick-fil-A
in
are you
twice.
going to?
Do you think they're mad that you quit?
They probably are.
Out
It's a-
them.
It was a
Yeah,
former
come
one that I
on.
did work
It's a
at.
crime.
So
Oh, they're.
should I out them?
It's a crime. What's
No,
What's
no,
the address?
No. I don't have to
Don't
stop
Adam.
to
Drop the
edit.
address.
I'll keep it.
Just say Littleton.
I'll keep it on
just
the low.
edit this
It
thing
was in
enough.
Littleton, Colorado, but they have messed up. I've probably been there
You can bleep it out.
at least 25 times this year. Probably more than that. But I have multiple calls to their general manager, who's a friend of mine,
Oh,
who's a
okay.
friend of
Don't
mine.
say
You're
the
call the
name.
manager. Say his name.
And it's
Don't.
bad. It's been bad. That's all I'll say.
Is
and I
Devin
also
the new Karen?
I
Like, are
also
you
got
the
food
Karen?
poisoning
Yeah.
from Chick-fil-A this
What's
year.
up with
Gosh,
y'all
this
and
is
your
like-
food
it's
poisoning?
been so
More
bad
like a
this year.
nemesis.
If you
Oh
ever
my
need help
gosh.
going to the restroom, go to Chick-fil-A. Get the kale crunch salad.
Oh, I.
The kale
the
crunch
grilled-
salad.
and
Go
the
to
grilled
Chick-fil-A,
chicken.
they'll help
All right,
you.
this
Yeah,
is,
that's
okay, we have
Chick-fil-A.
30 more seconds.
Anything from Chick-fil-A will help you.
Betrayal?
Last betrayal, the repost button on Instagram, because I
Oh my
always press that
gosh,
on
that's a good
accident.
one.
A
That's-
little
yeah,
airplane?
Yeah.
No,
The
that was
repost.
so
Have you not seen
millennial.
that?
That was so millennial.
No, it's there's a repost button,
like
and
a
it's like
repeat,
you know
but-
how your feed
Oh,
isn't.
those weird arrows that go in
Yeah,
a circle?
yeah.
Yes,
What
it's-
is that?
it's- so
I've
it's
never
like
asked
your
anyone.
feed isn't actually who you
Repost.
follow, and so I'm always accidentally reposting
It happened to me. I have a
things that are
funny
weird.
story.
Wait, when you press it, what happens?
I don't know.
No, so it pulls it up, like it puts it on someone else's feed, and it shows
That
that you
you
did it.
reposted it.
I did it to someone. I'm not gonna say who, but he's on staff here.
Oh,
That the girls love.
Okay.
The
keep going,
congregants. The
keep going,
congregants love
yes,
him and stalk
keep
him.
going, Yes.
oh,
And it was embarrassing because it wasn't even a good post. Like it wasn't even a good post to repost, retweet, whatever the heck it is. And then this person that I know follows me also did it. But I was like, I think you're just doing because I did it. But it was nothing meaningful, or deep, or good in it.
Just like a
So I'm really
regular-
embarrassed.
That is embarrassing, actually. Loser. Just kidding.
I'm not gonna say his initials.
I
but
know
we all
who
know
it
who
is.
it is.
We know who it is.
It was really embarrassing.
Okay, what's your last betrayal? And then we're
My
out.
last betrayal is anyone who says that
I know this one too. I can tell.
high level or high capacity. I'm just gonna say, like, I feel like I've fallen victim of that.
So
I
is the
am no
betrayal
longer-
that someone calls you that and it's just
They
like,
take advantage of me.
yes.
Oh,
I am no longer in 2026. I am no longer high level, high capacity.
She's not talking about
Hey.
me, you guys.
let your
Please.
nose be nose.
She's
Let your
talking
nose
about-
be your nose so you can give a confident yes, and I stand by that.
Amen.
Okay.
Mic drop.
All right, you guys. This has been really fun.
I was gonna say really quick. I'm glad that I'm the only person not on your guys' betrayal list because you guys
Wait,
were
I
all
could
called
find
out.
something.
No, don't. I just wanted to call it out
Devin came to
now.
one lead
So
meeting in
it's on-
2025 that I
it's
put
on the
on.
thing.
He came to one lead meeting.
No, that is false.
2.
No, you actually really come through for me a lot.
Devin has come through actually.
Like you brought me a laptop. Both of you do. Both of you
Thank
come
you.
through.
Anna
Thank you.
saved me. She's
Thank
our
you.
honorary
Yeah, give me
additional
2 put-ups
member.
now after you
What's
put
a
me
put
on.
up?
I
Like a
compliment you a
compliment.
lot.
Yeah, you do.
Okay. You and Lainey always
I'm
are
fishing.
Sorry for
Somehow.
the
nice about
rabbit
me.
trail.
Okay, guys, thanks for being on the pod. We're gonna have to have you back. This has been really fruitful, fun combos. I'll do a quick shout out to Serve at YA.
Yes.
Anna, Devin are on our lead team. Jada leads our volunteer culture volunteer team. So if you're interested in serving, come find any of us at Young Adults. And then 2, our internship application is open. And so we talked a lot about calling, God speaking to you, maybe God calling you into ministry, or maybe even just calling you into a year of serving his house. If that's something that you're interested in, or God has put on your heart, feel free to find any of us on a Thursday, or apply to the internship and just see what that looks like. And then last but not least, we are a room in the house of Red Rocks Church. And so we are in the midst of our New Year's series, vision casting for what we think God's going to do in 2026. We know he's just getting started with Red Rocks Church. And so come on the weekend to one of our weekend services at one of our Denver-based locations, Arvada, Littleton, Lakewood, or Lone Tree, or Park Meadows. Park Meadows, whatever. 5 o'clock on Saturday, 8, 10, and 12 on Sunday. So come say hi, come get into a building, come be in community, worship God with people. And then we have young adults on Thursdays at the Lakewood campus at 7 o'clock. Share this with somebody you think would be helpful too. And we love you guys. See you next time.